Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Cora, and today we'll be covering Lattafa Pride's Artisan Ethnique. I have my little sample as usual. On my channel, I cover fragrance, lifestyle, and a little bit of skincare. For my reviews, I do tend to spend a lot of time with the product before going over what the manufacturer says you should be smelling. So if you want a tatted up, blue-eyed, Burger King loving fragrance enthusiast reviewing products for you, keep watching. Just a little bit of story time with this sample. When I bought this, I really intended to buy the little spray kind, right? Like the little decant. The sale was so good, I totally ignored that this was a sample in a little bottle like this and not the spray decants. For me, I totally prefer the spray decants. That way I can spray it on my clothes, spray it in the air. With this one, I'm gonna be honest with you, I just ended up turning it upside down, rubbing up my arm, and I know you're not supposed to rub scents like this. I'm afraid I did though, a couple times on accident, just like do this. I would also, take the lid off, flip it upside down, and then do this on my neck and on my chest a little bit, or like right here. So I used this as best as I could, but I definitely prefer the decants. Artisan Ethnique is part of Lattafa's Pride collection. I definitely wore this for a couple of full days, so full work days, which for me ends up being about 9 or 10 hours. For me, I really got a lot of sugar and musk at the opening. There was a hint of vanilla and some kind of liqueur or like alcohol scent came out after a couple minutes. I did detect something that was on the verge of caramel, but not quite there. It wasn't a sweet or syrupy caramel. It was just like a touch of something that was like, oh, this is like a caramel-esque note. This caramel-like note did take a couple of minutes to come out though. My take on this is it's really nice. Heads up though, it is not a complex scent and it's best for layering with other things. This reminds me a lot of spun sugar with musk added to it, so it's a very simple scent. It's not complex, but that doesn't take away from the quality. The quality is definitely high. This reminds me a lot of a carnival, but without like the funnel cake kind of smell. This scent is supposed to be a dupe of Sugar Addict by Born to Stand Out. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't smelled that scent yet. So like I said, I definitely wore this for a couple of full work days for me, which like I said, it's about 9 to 10 hours. Something I really noticed was that the musk note was strong at the beginning, but then it faded to about 50% of my experience for the next 9 hours or so. Not gonna lie, at first I was a little disappointed that the opening had so much musk in it, but like I said, it does fade down to about 50%, and then the rest of the workday I got to experience the spun sugar part as well. Something that did come out after a few hours was I noticed that the spun sugar and the musk seem to be sitting over a vanilla base. Fair warning, you do have to really like musk to wear the scent by itself. Artisan Ethnique is not juvenile. It doesn't smell super young like something a child or a teenager would wear. I definitely layered this with one of my other favorite scents, Cod Lage's Cafe Latte. I found that when I layered these two, the musk was not nearly as prominent, so that seemed to help balance it out a lot. I was actually really surprised because when I tried to wear it just by itself, the musk was very prominent at the opening, and then like I said, cut down to about 50% for the rest of the day, kind of making room for the spun sugar and vanilla base notes. But when I layered this with another scent, I found that the musk was much more easier to wear. The musk wasn't prominent when I layered this with something else. Not gonna lie, this lasted 10 hours, which is really impressive. At 12 hours, I could still smell a hint of the spun sugar note on my skin. The longevity with this is super impressive. So for me, I'm gonna pass on a full bottle of this scent just because I've many other gourmands that are more complex and that I'm gonna wear without layering it with something else. As my collection grows though, not gonna lie, I'm totally open to purchasing a full bottle just so I can layer it with other scents. All right, let's see what the Lattafa website has to say about this scent. Straight from the website, you're supposed to smell top notes of cinnamon, sugar, and rum. For the middle notes, and I'm kind of surprised, not gonna lie, you're supposed to smell cacao, coffee, oak moss, and caramel. For the base notes, there's tonka bean, cashmere, labdanum, and vanilla. This is super interesting to me because literally the only things I smelled were spun sugar and musk. That was it. I didn't get the cinnamon at all. I got zero spice from this scent. I'm afraid I didn't smell the rum either. Okay, so it looks like my nose did detect that little bit of caramel that's supposed to be in the middle. As far as base notes go, I am pretty relieved that I detected the musk, which is coming from the labdanum, and then the vanilla. I'm kind of disappointed though because I'm not smelling about 6 notes that are mentioned in the website's description. I'm not smelling the complex scent that is on the website, to be honest. On the Lattafa website, you'll find the scent for about $50, but you can certainly get it for cheaper at perfume discounters. What does Fragrantica have to say about what you should be smelling? For the top 3 accords, they put warm, spicy, sweet, and vanilla, followed by cinnamon and woody. Caramel is in there, kind of down towards the bottom. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not smelling the vast majority of the notes mentioned on Fragrantica or on the Lattafa website. I'm not mad at it though. It doesn't make it a bad scent. It's really high quality. The spun sugar, the vanilla base, the touch of caramel, all really high quality. The musk is kind of a deal breaker for me to wear on the regular, but I would totally layer this with other scents. To me, this still smells like an elevated, going to the carnival kind of experience. Doesn't smell cheap, doesn't smell juvenile. I really hope my experience with the scent doesn't hold you back from trying it for yourself. If anything, this is just a really good layering scent, Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.